Alright, hello everyone, it's AKW Blaze 91, Hanson Hegel here, with once again another video going over the games I bought this month. In this case it's February 2020, and I've only got a small number of games here. I think about 5 games plus 1 controller accessory, so I really didn't buy much. But in all fairness, some of the games I bought were quite expensive. In all fairness, because some of these I was not expected to see there, and I kind of thought to myself, okay, I think I'll go ahead and get them. I didn't buy this month's PlayStation Magazine issue, which was a shame. But maybe next week I'll get it before the next issue comes out. So either way, I've got 4 PlayStation Vita games, 1 PlayStation 4 game, and a new controller. So first of all, let's get. So as usual, guys, I'm going to be going through what I've picked up, giving my thoughts and opinions on these. And then I'll talk about what my future plans are. Alright, so here we go, guys. So we're going to talk about PlayStation 4 game I got. And it is Destiny 2. I bought this cheap for £4.99 in game. Although I am aware of this, the game has now become a free-to-play game. And originally, this was on my, PlayStation. It was on my PlayStation Plus subscription that I got for free, which means I get to play this for free. But now, Destiny 2 has now become a free-to-play game. And game stores are no longer going to be selling any physical copies of Destiny 2 because the game is now free to play, and they think, well, what's the point of having second-hand copies of this in game stores now? So I figured I might as well just get this for the collection. And I like Destiny 1. I am going to think about one day playing Destiny 1 first on my PS3. Transferring all my progress to Destiny on the PS4 in the Destiny the Collection, because Destiny on PS4 has the Rise of Iron has the Rise of Iron DLC, unlike the PS3 versions that do not have it. And also, if Bungie is planning maybe to shut down the service for Destiny 1, so I really need to get Destiny 1, done and dusted. I'll just bring it out and show you. Here it is, Destiny 1 on the PS3. I'm going to go through this one on the PS3 first, just because I've already got progress going on the PlayStation 3 version. And then I'm going to transfer all my progress from the PS3 onto the PS4 version. And then I'm going to play the House of Iron maps before I eventually move on to Destiny 2. I will notice that when I played this, they made a lot of changes to it, including the intro. Sorry. I was about to say it then, but I tend to accidentally call this Tales of Destiny when it's not, because there is a Tales of Destiny game in the Tales series. I tend to accidentally call Bungie's Destiny Tales of Destiny just by total accident, slip of the tongue. But Bungie's Destiny, which I just call it, just in case my brain decides to slip off the tongue. Well, in case my brain decides to slip. and in this case Destiny 2 has the Destiny 1's opening now as the more recent update. And I'm not sure why they bothered to change the intro, but you can still play the original Destiny 2 intro, just you have to play through just a fair bit of crap just to get to it. And I think it would, and I think they should have just left it as it should have been. And yeah, both Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, they're both online games, and they require an internet connection if you want to play them. And the PlayStation 4 version of and the PlayStation 4 Destiny games are still pretty fun. And it's now mine didn't come with any form of DLC content, but I am planning to buy the downloadable content for Destiny 2. Because I did get massively lucky with Destiny 1 on the PS4, the collection, but I got the Destiny 1 the collection with all the DLC content. It's cheap as £5 fucking quid. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Right, either way, next up I'm going to talk about is the new controller, and it is the Sony Move shooting attachment. It's a gun attachment for the PlayStation Move from the PlayStation 3, but it also works with the PlayStation 4 and VR. Which in my case, I've only used it on the PlayStation 3, and this is a pretty good gun attachment for the PlayStation 3. PlayStation Move was the device Sony had in competition with the Nintendo Wii, and this is one of the many controller accessories you can buy for it, a small pistol gun attachment. And when you believe it, Sony actually made its own 2 variants of the PlayStation Move gun controllers for the PlayStation Move, including a small handgun which you can use, whereas the Nintendo Wii only had that damned Wii Zapper, which was an absolute piece of crap. And many third-party developers made their own guns to shit all over the Wii Zapper. But I'm still going to keep the Wii Zapper nonetheless, you know, just to support Nintendo officially. And this one I have used this gun on, and the gun itself is pretty good. It's got this sci-fi looking feel to it. Like, you got that orb at the very end of it. It's giving off like this sort of laser, like this space laser gun sci-fi theme going on for it. It doesn't have it doesn't have a sights or crosshairs on it, but I suppose the orb at the very end that's lighting up might as well be your crosshair, telling you exactly where to point, where an enemy you need to point it with. It's good, it's quite accurate, but again, it's depending on how you set up like the PlayStation Eye camera with the Move device, and whether or not you hold the damn thing still during calibration. And I've tested it with a few like-gun shooting games. I've tested it with mostly the Mad Dog games. I tested it mainly with Mad Dog McCree and Mad Dog 2, The Lost Gold, which, I'll point this out, I have reviewed Mad Dog McCree on the PlayStation 3 on my GameSpot channel when I was testing it with, and I have the best leaderboard record right now on the PlayStation 3 version of Mad Dog McCree. I got 55,700 points, and I played it on the Sheriff difficulty. That's the best overall score now on Mad Dog McCree on the PlayStation 3, and I played it with this thing. So this thing really earned me a lot of high scores. Apologies, jump cut. I'm still using my 3DS camera. I'm gonna think about setting up my Vita camera, you know, for future episodes, but I think just for lazies, I think just for easier sakes, I'm sticking with my 3DS camera. Alright, so either way, back to this. So yeah, I like this device, even though I actually kind of prefer my move sharpshooter more. I like this thing more, but I'm actually glad I got this, you know, as like a sidearm. So like if this thing runs out of juice during one of my Lycan playthroughs, this is a replacement. This can be a little bit of a replacement. So yeah, good. I'm actually pleased I got the move sharpshooter, and the and the standard shooting attachment. They're going for a fair price now, because like because you've got now the PlayStation VR and the VR aim controller, which is a huge piece of crap in my opinion. Yeah, the VR gun is kind of crap in my opinion, but this is a so much better gun. Trust me, it is a lot better. And the sharpshooter one is much better as well, because it's got a stock on it and it's a much more comfortable to hold for me. And I'm planning to use this alongside the sharpshooter for Time Crisis, House of the Dead, Rambo, and so many of the Lycan games I've got now. I think I have all of the PlayStation 3 Lycan games, aside from the Calbella Lycan games, which I think are the survival hunting games, ones that work with the PlayStation Move. And I plan to get those, So, alright, so that's good. That's good for me. Alright, now we're going to move on to 4 PlayStation Vita games. I'm going to say this out loud. I was not expecting to see these at Newport when I was thinking about going to other places, you know, to break up the monotony of going into Cardiff all the time. I was just browsing through CEX one time, seeing them in Newport, and I was just like to myself, I was not expecting to find these in, you know, at Newport. And I kind of thought to myself, okay, I'll go ahead and get them before some lucky asshole gets it before me. And here you go, guys. Here are 4 of the games on the PlayStation Vita. One of them I already have right now on my other platforms. I'm going to start with Oculus Trip and Dead and Undressed. That's right, I've got the PlayStation Vita version of this. And yes, I have this on my PlayStation 4. Here it is. This is on the PlayStation 4. And hang on, I also have Oculus Trip and Dead and Undressed on the PlayStation 3. This was a PlayStation 3 game I wanted for my birthday. So now I have all 3 versions of Oculus Trip. And all 3 of these versions have their own separate trophy lists. So if I want to get the Platinum Trophy for the PlayStation 3, I can do that. And if I want to get the Platinum Trophy for the PlayStation 4 version, I can do that as well. And now, as I have this for the PlayStation Vita, I can also get a Platinum Trophy for playing this on the PlayStation Vita. And I've got this installed on my PlayStation Vita, so I can play this on the go. Under the risk that people who see me playing this is gonna no doubt call me a pervert. they're gonna call me a pervert, a savage, a degenerate, well, just anything, and really, and I'm gonna be okay with that. But yeah, I'm absolutely pleased. And I got Oculus Trip and then Undressed, the sequel to the Japan exclusive game, Oculus Trip, which is now planned, but we're going to be having there's a planned remake of the very first Oculus Trip in the works for the PlayStation 4 and the Nintendo Switch, and we have no idea what content is going to be cut out from the PlayStation 4 version because of Sony's, content policy change. But I'd be surprised if they keep most of the undressing content intact, which is the main gameplay of it. So either way, let's move on to the meat of this, and it is the Hyperdimension Neptunia series. Yes, I have got Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2 Sisters Generation and Hyperdimension Neptunia V3 Rebirth 3 V Generation. Yes, I got Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2 Sister Generation and Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 3 V Generation. Remakes of Hyperdimension Neptunia 2 and Hyperdimension Neptunia Victory. I was not expecting to get these two in Newport when I saw them there. I thought, are you for real? That's brilliant. And I got them for I got one of them for 10 quid, and I got this one, and I got the other one for 18 quid. But holy crap, or 15 quid, whatever. And then lastly, I got Hyperdimension Neptunia U Action Unleashed. And which I thought to myself, I should get this one too. Now I'm gonna, so that's good. So that's got a couple more Neptunia games in that series that's now been added to the collection. And before you ask, what about Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1? Here's the thing. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 did get released over here in Europe, but it is a digital only game. We didn't get it physically. When I bought this game, I bought the digital release of Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 when it was on a sale. And I looked at this, when I looked at it on sale in on the PlayStation Network store, and I looked around to see if they ever did get a physical release, and it didn't. And I looked up online about the reasons why. Apparently due to Idea Factory's brand in Europe didn't have a good start in the business. Idea Factory's new business in Europe didn't get off to a good start, and yeah, it was due to bad business going in the European side. And we didn't get Rebirth 1, but we did manage to get physical copies of Rebirth 2 and 3 instead to make up for it. But still, we did manage to get Rebirth 1 just as a digital only game, and I did get it and I did download it very cheap off the PlayStation Network on PlayStation Network store when it was reduced in price. And I will point out that I have tested all 3 of these games on my PlayStation TV and they work. But if you're thinking that Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 will work with the PlayStation TV, you're sadly mistaken. Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 will not work with the PlayStation TV at all. Alright, sorry about that, no jump cut. So what was I going to say? Yeah, Hybrid Dimension Neptunia Rebirth 2 and Rebirth 3 are compatible with the PlayStation TV, but they are not. But Hybrid Dimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 is not PlayStation TV compatible. Trust me, I tried it. But also Action Unleashed is PlayStation TV compatible. They even say on the back of the box. They even say on the back of the box, saying that the games are PlayStation TV compatible. So I've got. So that's a good sign. So that's good. And you can tell them that they're PlayStation TV compatible. So that means if you've got a PlayStation TV, which will work with PlayStation Vita games physically, you can pop one of these into the PlayStation TV and they'll play them. And so you can play them on your TV, on the console, instead of like on the PlayStation Vita itself. But with the PlayStation TV, it's a certain compatibility limit. Some games will just not work with it. There's like certain features. That's like more that the PlayStation Vita is capable of handling, and not the PS TV itself. Like, you know, the touching and the touch screen and the the camera, that's it, and the virtual reality and the VR and the virtual, and the augmented reality thing. Yeah, that's it. So and so with these Hyperdimension Neptunia games, that's pretty much, I've nearly got every single Neptunia game in the series, including the more recent Neptunia game, Super Neptune, including the more recent Neptunia game, Super Neptunia RPG. And there is a new Hyperdimension Neptunia game announced, VVV Tunia, I've seen, which is going to be another action RPG spin-off of the Neptunia series, which is kind of like a cross between something of a hack and slash action game and a third-person shooter, something like that. That's from what it looks like to me. With Neptune holding a gun, really guys? Why the sudden change? But either way, with this, I'm happy that I've got most of the Neptunia games in the series now. The only Hyperdimension Neptunia game I haven't got, which I might be able to get, is Hyperdimension Neptunia Producing Perfection. That's it, on the Vita. That's the only Neptunia game I haven't got yet. And I'm not sure if I might be able to get my hands on a physical copy of it. I might keep an eye on it on CEX to see if I can get my hands on it, because I have seen a physical copy of it in CEX, but but it's not yet in Cardiff or in Newport yet. So I do know that there's a copy of it. I do know that Producing Perfection is the last Neptunia game I need to get my hands on before I eventually, you know, start my Neptunia series, starting the whole Neptunia series, starting with the PlayStation 3 installments, because I want to see what the earliest origins of the Neptunia series were like before I dig into the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita installments. So yeah, so I'll point this out. Neptunia Rebirth 2 is one focusing on the CPU candidates. You know, you've got Netgear, personification of the Game Gear, ROM and RAM, personifications of the Nintendo DS, and Uni, personifying the PlayStation Portable. And Hybrid Dimension of 2D Rebirth 3 has got the, what is it, 2 new characters. It's got the 90s, I think the late 80s render. Oh yeah, it's 1989. Oh yeah, this one's set in the late 80s. So it's got the 1980s redubbing of the CPUs. It's Blanc, Vert and Noir. With Neptune already having like a default redesigned outfit, which I do prefer from my original outfit. And it's got 2 new CPU characters. Plutia, if my memory serves right, she's a personification of the Mega Drive. Yeah, if I remember, Plutia is the CPU who personifies the Mega Drive, or Genesis if you guys are American. And Pishi, who is the personification of the TurboGrafx 16, also called the PC engine in Japan. So I suppose that makes, which definitely makes a lot of sense, considering PC engine, considering the TurboGrafx 16's name in Japan is the PC engine. So that's pretty cool. So that's going to be cool. And lastly, the other one, Hybrid Dimension of 2D Action Unleashed, is a hack and slash action game in the Neptunia series. But it's got all the CPU characters. It's got all the CPUs, the originals, the CPU candidates, and 2 new characters. Fumatsu and Daigeki, Daigeki. I think that's her name. And there's an undressing mechanic in the game where if you take a certain number of damage, their clothes get torn, and everyone is just fighting in their undies. And to me, it's not as implemented well as I hoped. Like when I was hoping with the costume break system that their clothes come off completely and everybody's left in their bras and underwear. But not so with this. It's just a clothes torn mechanic, and it's not as, well implemented, say like with Akiba's Trip and then Undressed. When you damage their clothes big enough, you can either pull them off completely or just tear them off. Or just completely keep damaging them till their clothes tear off completely. Or in the Ghouls and Ghosts series, like Super Ghouls and Ghosts, when Arthur takes a hit, Arthur's armor breaks off completely and he's fighting in his boxer shorts. So this one's fine, but this one's okay. I have set up and I have downloaded the DLC for all of these games. So I got a couple of free DLC for all of these games, and I might get download some the other DLC if I'm feeling up to it. If it's just for the trophies or whatever. But we'll see. Because again, I want to go through the PlayStation 3 installments first, because I want to see what the old Neptunia games were like first before I move on to the PlayStation 4 and the Vita. So before I just mention those games. And yeah, and again, I like the concept of the Neptunia series. It's all about these girls who are CPUs and they personify real life game consoles, and they make all kinds of parodies and jokes to anime, manga, and video game cultures. And there's a lot of these funny references that you're gonna guess. Alright, sorry about that, another jump cut. I'm especially liking indie, so as I said, I like the concept of Neptunia games. It's all about the jokes, references to anime, manga, and video games. And I like it in the original Neptunia. Neptune throws like a Sonic joke in there. Throws like a little Sonic the Hedgehog joke in there. Like, like that actually got me laughing. And Neptune herself is surprisingly hugely likable, and she's like the Deadpool of anime and manga and video game culture as well, because she breaks the fourth wall every single time. She knows about that fourth wall and she's happy to break it. Because why not? She's the protagonist. She even calls herself the protagonist as well. And it's hilarious. I love it. So I'm absolutely glad about these Neptunia games. Alright, so now let's talk about my future plans. I'm going to continue to upload top 10s and reviews, but it's just going to be whatever which one I'm just that's just on my mind. Whatever one is on my mind right now. And whenever I come up with a new top 10 idea, I'll work on it. And right now, I'm still working on this game, Crisis Core. I started it last month, and I have since made some progress, and I'm now on to chapter 8, I think. Yeah, it's the chapter after I just got the Buster Sword. No, hold on. No, that was chapter 7. I'm on the chapter where after the after getting the Buster Sword, a Shinra building gets attacked again. No, a Shinra base gets attacked. By Genesis clones, and it was during a beat sequence where Zack takes up a parasol and fights off some Genesis clones. It was dope. I thought myself that was dope, but I can't complain. But now on the chapter where I've got to make a flower wagon for Aerith. And I'm just still building up for the side quests. And it'll be in chapter 9, the chapter which will be after, is when finally we get to see all the backstory, where all the the main event finally comes. Well, like if you remember the backstory that Cloud tells everyone between him and Sephiroth. finally emerges. And I'll be looking forward to finally finishing this game, because so far this game has really been testing my patience. And it's because like this digital mind wave system, it's a stupid idea. It's a stupid idea for a leveling system. It is so luck based. Either it levels up your character, which you get this by getting a 777, or it gets a Materia level up, in which case it gets 2 of the same number from 1 to 6. So either a double 1 or a double 2, a double 3, a double 4, or a double 5, or a double 6. You can get a Materia level up. And then sometimes it either gives you a level up, or it doesn't entirely. And it either gives you, a limit break that you want, like a limit break which will finish the enemy off, or a limit break which will just heal you, even though you just fall on health. And to top things off, there's no frustration in having that. There's no mind wave system. It takes in the form of a slot machine game, may I add, but it's just interrupts the flow of the battle. And the combat system for this, as much as it's better than Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy 13, it's still not very good. It's just a slow, awkwardly paced leveling. It's just an awkward, slow-paced combat system. That's just so nothing compared to, like, you know, the Tales games on the PSP, which I got, which are far faster, and far more entertaining to play through. And if you really would like and if you really need to increase all the materials you need, you know, if you want to get your materia building and all your materia fusing to make the materia stronger, so you can handle some of the tougher side quests. You need to build up your SP. You need to master the materia and fuse all your materia together, or convert some of the materia you don't need into SP, so you can, you know, get the materia that you want for the later phases in the game. Some materia are good, some other materia are just worthless. And yeah, I'm struggling, and yeah, I'm getting by with the side quests, but there are just some side quests that are just fucking cheap as hell. It's a game where the difficulty is just so inconsistent as well. Some side quests are just plain easy. You can just breeze through a lot of the side quests. The story bosses become, but if you're doing the side quests, the story bosses become hardly become a threat, or hardly a challenge to you. But if there are some side quests that will beat the living shit out of you unless you equip an accessory that resists against instant death attacks, which I have been hit by numerous times. I lost count of how many times I got hit by several instant death attacks, or enemies that can just wipe out your entire life bar unless you get an accessory that extends your health points from 9,999 to 99,999. Just ridiculous. And yeah, I get that it's a combat system where, like, you run around an arena, and you can block or you dodge attacks. But the camera at times can just really obscure your view. It can really just obscure your view when you got multiple enemies on the screen. And sometimes the dodges don't necessarily dodge all that well. Dodge multiple enemy attacks all that well. So you just kind of have to run the gauntlet and just hope that you can get through some of these fights before they can just kill you, and then just heal after every single fight whenever you can. So yeah, I'm hoping to get this done soon before the release of the Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'm not looking forward to the Final Fantasy VII Remake myself. It's the whole turn game, it's the whole combat system that's turned into an action RPG. And plays nothing like the original Final Fantasy VII that I remember. Because I remember when I played through Final Fantasy VII, the original on the PS1, that's the true Final Fantasy VII I remember growing up as a kid. Because I've seen it over friends' houses, I either played it myself. But with the remake, it plays nothing like Final Fantasy VII. It's like an entirely different game altogether. And they're going to be putting it into episodes. Alright, so let's jump cut. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I can look forward to finishing Crisis Core. And to be honest guys, I really don't think this is a good game at all. But yeah, how did the reviews get this, and how did the reviews of this game get so high for this game? It has to have been reviewed by hardcore Final Fantasy VII fanatics, who are just total fanboys, or just total Final Fantasy fanboys in general. Because this whole digital mindwave system is just utterly stupid. And I'm glad that this is the only Final Fantasy game that uses that system, and it was never tossed in any other Final Fantasy game. Because if a Tales game had this kind of a fucking system, I would be giving the same, I would be saying that same exact shit to that game. RNG and luck-based systems do not belong in turn-based do not belong in RPGs, especially a Final Fantasy game. And about the only RNG system that sort of worked in an RPG was Patty Fleur in Tales of Vesperia. She's the only character in an RPG that made RNG aspects work. Because your reward for having such good luck is having her defeat an enemy. It's having her defeat a tough enemy that you were struggling with. And her having that really cool playstyle, where she's very unorthodox and you have no idea what's going to come out. But she's the only character that makes RNG aspects in RPGs work. So yeah, this is going to be one of my continuing future plans as well. And alongside that, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the 2017 edition, has just released another update, and it's the update I've been waiting for. The co-op mode with the Rebels versus the Empire. Yes, the Rebels versus the Empire update for co-op is now in. And we've now got the Supremacy mode for the Rebels versus the Empire, I think now, alongside the Rise of Skywalker update, where we got the co-op maps for the sequel trilogy, the Resistance versus the new First Order. So I'm actually pleased with the new updates, alongside the two new heroes, BB-8 and BB-9E. So I'm absolutely pleased with the new updates. So here we go. This is where I'm going to end things off. I will check out I will continue on with Crisis Core. I'll continue to work on Star Wars Battlefront 2, the 2017 with the new content. I'll try and get some new videos of it if I can, and I'll try and go on Adventure Quest Worlds at some point to get the new classes, because we got the Breaking Benjamin Battle Concert, and I'll probably review a couple more light gun games on the PlayStation 3, namely Mad Dog 2: The Lost Gold, which is going to be my next one. I want to do the PlayStation 3 version of Mad Dog 2: The Lost Gold. So I hope you guys enjoyed this this little presentation, this little video I wanted to do, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. I'll see you all in the next video. So take care of yourselves and goodbye.